And guys, in this next news story, 5 fraudsters who mocked the DWP as they raked in £54 million from Britain's biggest ever benefit scam were today jailed for more than 25 years. The Eastern European gang from Bulgaria hacked 6,000 identities to make claims for universal credit and used the names of children living in Bulgaria as part of the 5-year scam. They set up 3 benefit factories across London, churning out bogus tenancy agreements, counterfeit payslips, and forged letters from landlords, employers, and GPs to trick the DWP. The group appeared to be hiding in plain sight, posting photos on social media, smiling and posing behind the counter of a foods supermarket in Wood Green in London. A system involving burner phones lowered down to waiting customers via a bucket pulley mechanism was used to improve the scam's efficiency. The enormous haul of money gained from their complex financial web of claims was laundered through a number of accounts, then withdrawn in cash, with £750,000 in banknotes found stuffed in suitcases at one of their homes. Today, the shameless gang were hauled in front of a judge at Wood Green Crown Court who said the ringleader, Galina Nikolova, who's 38 years old, responsible for his £25 million loss to the UK taxpayer. Gyunesh Ali, who's 33, even took a video of himself throwing wads of cash at an unknown woman living the high life. He was throwing it like it was tissue paper. Ali Nikolova and her boyfriend, Stoyan Stoyanov, who's 27, along with Tsvetka Todorova, who's 52, and Patritsia Paneva, who's 26, were arrested on the 5th of May 2021. Stoyanov had a tattoo of Nikolova on his right arm and posed in a photo of it along with a red rose on social media. Nikolova, who also ran her own Bulgarian interpreting firm, boasted, "The air that I breathe as I cuddled in another shot," while the couple also enjoyed a lavish trip to Istanbul. Department of Work and Pensions, the DWP investigators searched their homes and found shopping bags crammed with designer goods, Rolex watches, jackets, and wads of cash. One of the hubs was behind the functioning of a corner shop selling groceries. The group appeared to be hiding in plain sight, posing photos on social media, smiling and posing behind the counter of the food supermarket in Wood Green. The enormous haul of money gained from their complex financial web of claims was laundered through a number of accounts and withdrawn in cash, with £750,000 in banknotes found stuffed in suitcases at one of their homes. The Judge David Arenberg case, he said that the fraud was carried out on an industrial scale. He referred to messages sent to Miss Paneva included those making fun of the DWP's gullibility in processing fraudulent claims. There were also photoshopped photographs of claimants outside properties in which it was falsely claimed they were renting. Photographs had been doctored to make it appear the claimants had physical access to the properties, which in reality they did not. There were systems in use by which phones could be lowered into a bucket out of the window to be used downstairs by those communicating bogus information to the DWP. Judge Arenberg told Nikolova, "You bear personal responsibility for at least £25 million lost to the taxpayer. Therefore, the sentence I impose on you is 8 years. £25 million, and my man gets 8 years." Let me know what you think in the comments below for that. Nikolova, who was also going to be deported to Bulgaria, kept her head bowed as she was jailed. Her lover Stoyanov referred to the judge as a trusted subordinate and was sentenced to 4 years imprisonment. The judge told Ali, "You played a leading role in the conspiracy, which was sophisticated in its nature, which involved significant planning. You offended for some 4.5 years, involving yourself with, as I've described, a vast number of false declarations. I've seen evidence of you enjoying a lavish lifestyle as demonstrated by the material found on your mobile phone. You knew all along before you were originally arrested that you were involved with others in making false claims." Ali was jailed for 7 years and 3 months, and he will also be automatically deported to Bulgaria once his sentence has been served. Paneva wept as she was sentenced to 3 years and 2 months imprisonment, and the judge said Paneva was impressionable and naive in her dealings, but showed bravery in being the first of the fraudsters to enter a guilty plea. The judge said that Todorova's offending was sophisticated and involved significant planning, and she was sentenced to 3 years imprisonment for involvement in defrauding the DWP of around £260,000. Todorova was actually released on license because she has served 625 days on remand, the equivalent of the term she's received. The prosecutor, Tom Little, said that the gang members had forged letters from local primary and secondary schools as part of the swindle. He said forged letters from schools would be used if it was said there were children part of the claim because that potentially boosted the value of the claim. He said children, as I've indicated, who did not exist or lived in Bulgaria were involved in some of the claims that allowed the value to be increased. He said people who had never even been to the UK benefited from the scam. Said they may have travelled here for a short period of time to support the claim before returning to Bulgaria, with the claim remaining ongoing. He said some were already here, they made a claim and then departed. Some never even travelled here at all. As I said, gang members used their Photoshop skills to create photos of ineligible claimants stood in front of doors to imaginary houses. Stoyanov refers to having someone who works with Photoshop who does little magic tricks. Todorova advises taking photographs in front of the house for which she falsely claimed is being made and stated they need to take 3 pictures in different poses and in Photoshop they will put him in front of the door and they will open it. Prosecutor also referred to messages and photos shared between the defendants mocking the naivety of the DWP. They were taking the piss out of them. So images were exchanged on the Deluxe WhatsApp group that poked fun at the naivety of the DWP in relation to fraudulent claims, and Todorova, acted as interpreter in the scam, also mourned about the effort she was having to put in. He said Todorova was complaining about how much work she was undertaking and how she needed assistance to scam us out of £50 million. She stated her phone rang over 50 times a day and she had emails, messages and interviews to deal with and she just didn't have the time. She stated people have even paid me in advance to fix their documents because they believe in me and I can't stand it anymore. I'm just making too much money. She added that her husband is saying that she will die from work because I'm greedy for money. So Ali Nikolova, Stoyanov, Todorova and Paneva all admitted fraud and money laundering. And while under investigation, Ali fled the country to Bulgaria but was extradited in February 2023. So the defence for Stoyanov said he was left penniless after being cheated out of his wages when he first came to the UK. He then met Miss Nikolova through the Bulgarian community and in short, his head was turned. He found out he could make a lot of money and decided, I'm going to cut my losses and I'm going to make some big money. The defence for Nikolova said she was personally responsible for a loss to the DWP of £1.1 million and he argued she wasn't doing it on her own, nor was she the main figure. Referring to a translation company, he said, she's the G of G translations. That she genuinely intended to provide interpreting services to Bulgarians in this country, but quickly became apparent that telling lies to the DWP monies could be obtained very easily and she could become a millionaire from it. She said she deeply regrets how she assisted claimants in making these false claims, and as the judge sums up, she regrets being caught. In a letter read out to the court by her, barrister Paneva said, I deeply regret my actions towards this country simply because it has given me so much and I decided to fleece it. My grandma was able to live a couple more years. Doctors started to treat my grandma's health conditions and she got better, and I'm really sorry for robbing every taxpayer out there. Because I'm not sorry I got caught. I'm truly sorry I wronged this country. Believe me, I will never break the law in any way again. I just want to make it right. I'm really sorry to this country. The specialist prosecutor for the CPS earlier stated this case is the largest benefit fraud prosecution ever brought to the courts in England and Wales. For a number of reasons, these defendants conspired to commit industrial-scale fraud against the universal credit system, costing the taxpayer more than £50 million. Submitting thousands of false claims, the organised criminals enriched themselves from government funds designed to protect and help the most vulnerable people in our society. This was a complex and challenging case which required close and effective working between CPS prosecutors, the Department of Work and Pensions, and our international partners in both Bulgaria and through the UK desk at Eurojust to dismantle and successfully prosecute the organised crime group. The guilty pleas entered by all 5 defendants reflects the strength of evidence against them. The CPS proceeds of crime division at DWP is now going to pursue confiscation proceedings against the defendants and remove them from any available criminal benefit from this enterprise. Absolute madness, guys. So this is a new story coming in where a gang fleeced the UK's benefit system of over 50 million quid. Absolute madness. Let me know what you think in the comments below. It's your boy GT. Keep it locked, keep it real.